Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. It's Tobago Thursdays, and many places in Tobago have something a little bit different. Known for its dirt oven delicacies and Thursday night bonfires, among other things, this quiet fishing village in Tobago has set itself apart, making it a must for locals and tourists alike. But how did the village of Castara achieve such fame? Well, we're going to find out this morning as we chat with Bertil Taylor, who is the president, and Natasha Legal-Roberts, vice president of the Castara Tourism Development Association. Good morning to both of you and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Good morning.
And thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have both of you with us on the show this morning. Thank you so much. And we need to get straight into this conversation about the Castara Tourism Development Association. Particularly, let's start with the village. What sets the village apart from others in Tobago?
I want to say good morning to Trinidad and Tobago before I say anything. Castara Tourism Development Association is an NGO. And we have been around for the past 15 years. Because Castara has been growing as a community-based tourism over the years, we saw it fit to have a body that sort of govern and create oversight for the tourism in Castara. The village on the whole is very close-knitted. It's a very close-knitted community. We are about 700 or more people in the community of Castara. And one of the things that we realize nowhere else in Trinidad and Tobago have is that Castara has what they call a village life. And this village life is basically how the people live and communicate with each other. And because of that, we would attract a lot of visitors from all over the world, even from Trinidad, to come and experience our village life, meaning our culture, our tradition, our way of life, how we fish, how we speak, how we walk. It is indeed a spectacular thing to experience. And from my experience as a stakeholder within the community, in tourism, in fishing, I constantly engage people who come for holidays, and they will tell you the reason why they come back to Castara after 10, 15 years, every year, is because of the people, the way the people treat them, make them feel welcome, the hospitality, and also they have the chance to experience the culture, the tradition, as they walk through the village. So Castara will always attract people because the way in which the community treats with themselves and also the visitors.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us this morning, President Taylor. Now, Vice President, could we just bring you into the conversation for a quick moment?
Well, just to add to what Mr. Taylor said, one of the major things that actually sets us apart from anyone else as a village and a community is the fact that we are mindful that first and foremost, Castara is a fishing village. So we have never lose sight of that, nor would we ever lose sight of that. So we maintain that because that is our sustainability. That is what we grew up, our forbearance. So we recognize first and foremost, and we always at the forefront remember that Castara is first and foremost a fishing village with tourism successes. So therefore, we maintain our fishing tradition, we maintain our culture, because if you look at Castara, we as a people and as a village has not adapted to accommodate or accept tourism. Our village, our way of life, the tourists and guests, they adapt to our culture, they adapt to our way of life, and they adapt to our traditions. So then you find in Castara, we don't look at the tourists and them as being a paycheck or a dollar sign. We see them as human beings who may have saved for all their lives for this one vacation. So we strive on exposing them as much as is possible to our way of life, our way of doing things. So then when you come to Castara, you get a type of off-the-beaten-track type of experience. And I think that is one of the major things that sets us apart from other villages.
Thank you so much for that, Vice President Natasha Legal-Roberts of the Castara Tourism Development Association. So thank you for sharing what sets the village apart. Now, what about being able to turn that into a sustainable tourism strategy? What ideas does the association have in place to ensure that this is something that will continue to grow the tourism in particular for the village?
Well, I realized you were speaking about earlier in the program, you were speaking about the dirt oven and the bonfire. One of the initiatives that we're going to put in place related to the dirt oven is that we are going to start training our young people within the community how to bake the bread, how to make the clay oven. Because I'll tell you, in Castara, we have people who can build dirt ovens, and they have the original way. There's nowhere else in Tobago or Trinidad that people knows the original way how to build a clay oven, like the people in Castara. So these traditions, these ways that we are going to hand down to the young folks. And also, more than that, the organization are planning to meet with the elders in the community to have a conversation with them so that we can pull information and ideas of their ways, how they did things back in the days. Some of the tradition that we would have missed out on, they would now tell us how to go about doing them. So all these things, we want to compile them and get the information so we can hand it down to the younger generation. Now, to sustain tourism in Castara is to sustain our way of life. And it means that some of the things that we are going to put in place is to protect, preserve our natural environment, meaning that we're going to protect our reefs, protect our waterfall, protect our forests, and even treat with how we dispose our garbage and our liquid pollution. So in 2018, 2017, we would have undergo a project in Castara, funded by United Nations, where we would have seek to reduce the amount of plastic and styrofoam that we would have dumped into the environment, and also for guest houses and restaurants and people with the normal homes, we would have seek to get washing liquid that is environmentally friendly, and so that going forward we treat with our environment in a more positive way, because someday the younger folks will take over from us and they need to have something good and of standard. And this is the way going forward.
Yes.
So, yeah.
It definitely is. So, President and Vice President of the Castara Tourism Association, or Development Association rather, we unfortunately have already run out of time. However, we would love to have you back to continue the conversation, because we're looking forward to seeing this as a model that other communities hopefully will be able to follow as well and increase tourism for Tobago. Thank you for joining us, and both of you have a wonderful day.
Okay.
All right. Talking about the Castara Tourism Development Association happening in Tobago. Great initiatives taking place, and we can look forward to seeing it return to the people and to the economy. Stay tuned. There's more coming up on the Now Morning Show.